Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm back with, of course, another video of Only You. This episode.
Love it.
Thank y'all for clicking, and don't forget to subscribe and comment down below more videos y'all want. Let's get into it. We pick up after the events of last episode, and Tawan and company drops off Isla. Her dad is immediately there to greet her. He immediately goes and thanks Tawan because without her, he wouldn't have known what happened to Isla. Tawan says, "Okay, but you already know I'm willing to protect Isla. I've told you this previously. Like, my main goal when you hired me the first time was to protect Isla." Tawan takes it upon herself to add more of her team to look after Thana and Isla because the risk is too high and she don't want them to be out there unprotected and defenseless. Tawan tells Isla to go ahead inside because of course she has to get treated and everything. But Isla is too busy telling Tawan to go seek help from the hospital. Isla does eventually listens and goes into the home as per Tawan's request, and not soon after she does go inside, Tawan begins to collapse. However, the team catches her in enough time so she doesn't fully collapse onto the ground and immediately puts her into the van and takes her away. Even though Isla told her to go to the hospital, they do not take her to the hospital. They take her back to the office and gets treated inside. The doctor informs the team that it wasn't nothing major done to her. It was a graze. However, she did lose a bunch of blood. The doctor decides to give her supplements in order to bounce back from that. They thank him for his services and he is gone. But I'm like, I guess supplements can help you regenerate blood back into your system, but I simply don't know why he wouldn't just give her some blood from a blood bag. That seems like an easier task than waiting for supplements to do their job, even though, most people know when you take like vitamins and supplements, most of that is going out through your urine. So I really didn't understand why he gave her supplements. But I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. Anyway, back to the story. Nana eventually calls Isla to give her updates on Tawan's condition. She tells Isla that Tawan is safe right now and that the medicine that the doctors gave her is in full effect right now because she's out cold sleeping. Isla says, "Okay, that's good. So it's the hospital that Tawan is staying at." Na is hesitant and confused on how to answer this question because she know and the whole team knows that Tawan never went to a hospital. So how's she gonna answer it? But before Nana can try to skate past this question, Isla's like, "Girl, come on." Nana caves and she just straight up tells her Tawan is at the office and tells her not to worry because the doctors already had checked up on Tawan and she's doing good. She's fine because it was only a graze. Isla, again shaken and visibly concerned, says, "You can call me at any time. I'll be waiting." Nana says, "Cool. Alright." I don't really know the passage of time, but it seems to me Isla's just sitting there on the couch and she immediately goes to FaceTime Nana, saying to Nana, "Don't be annoyed with me, please. I just need to check up on Tawan." And Nana like, I can't never be annoyed with you. Cause Tawan loves you the most, so I ain't finna be mad or nothing. Isla quickly breaks down on the phone, saying, I'm really worried about her. I don't really know what to do about this situation. I really can't even be by her side when I want to. I'm feeling like I'm a terrible girlfriend, to be honest with you." Nana gives her a good piece of advice and says, "If it was me, and if that was the woman I love, just being there, ready to hold my hand when I fall, that and that alone would be happiness enough for me. You gotta love yourself first. Then when you're strong, you can love her fully. So then you can be loved in return." Nana did a great job right here. I like when certain people talk with certain characters, like how in certain instances you'll see that Ya is talking to Tawan or Typhoon is talking to Tawan. I like how they have two core people that they can go to, or they hand out advice to these two characters. Anyway, back to the Isla says thank you so much to Nana and she'll stay calm for right now. Dana sees all of this going down, observing from afar, and he sees how worried and stressed out his child is, like really struggling with the events that has occurred. Isla then gets a text. It's from Nana. It's pictures of Tawan to get Isla through this tough time with not being in contact with Tawan. Isla is overjoyed but also saddened because she can't see the woman that she loves currently. After seeing how hurt and overcome with emotion Isla is, Dana says, go get ready because he's going to go take her to go see Tawan right now. Isla immediately starts bawling, saying, thank you, Dad, so much. We finally wind up at the office, and Isla is in the same room with Tawan, even though Tawan is still heavily medicated. I don't know why, but my immediate thought when I saw this, I don't know why does Tawan look casket ready? Because, like, why she laid in the bed like that? Anyway, Isla goes over to the bed and kneels and start weeping next to her. It's the next day, and Tawan wakes up and sees that Isla is sleeping right next to her, like inches away. Isla didn't even try to get in the bed. Her back gotta be aching. I know it does. Needs to. Tawan wakes up and kisses Isla. Isla wakes up and does the exact same thing to her also. Isla wants an update on how Tawan's wound feels. Tawan's saying it's not much. However, how did you get here? Isla's like, my dad finally did something right for once and dropped me off over here. After asking that, she immediately asks, so do you want some water? I'm gonna go get it for you. Tawan's like, nah, I don't want no water because I ain't thirsty. Isla says, well, that's not an option. You need to drink water. Isla says, okay, I'll go make you some breakfast then. Isla returns and gives her a breakfast in the bed moment. Tawan's like, did you make this or did you pay for it? Because I know your history with cooking is not great. Isla like, nah, I made this. Tawan hesitantly eats the meal and she's like, oh, well, you actually did something good. It's edible. It tastes great. You did a good job. Isla eventually admits, yeah, it's because I bought it. That's why it tastes great. Please, I'm over here like I know that she knows the difference between a home cooked version and a version you just get and pop in the microwave. She has too much of a good palate not to recognize which is which. Tawan eventually starts telling Isla to try some because it's so good, but it's really a ploy just to kiss Isla. They kiss and whatnot. Isla eventually has to put the bowl down because of the shenanigans Tawan is trying to get into. And then Isla gets back on course and tries to give Tawan her medicine. She goes to give her the medicine, and Tawan is like, ow, I'm injured. I have no strength. I can't do it for myself. Isla picks up what Tawan's putting down, and she's like, okay. And then Isla just feeds her the pill, but not using her hands. She feeds her the pill with her mouth. Then Tawan kisses her again, just cause. However, Isla stops all that and gets back on course because Tawan needs water to take the pill. Tawan talking about, I ain't finished the pills. Isla's like, huh? I ain't got no more pills for you. So what are you talking about? Tawan just kisses her because apparently that's the medicine that she needed. Not no pain med, just Isla. I'm over here like, Tawan must be ambidextrous because I would not be playing because my arm, I'd be like everything, shooting pains, everything. But good thing, to me, it looked like her left side is injured. Good thing for me, I don't use my left hand to write. I use my dominant hand, which is my right hand, so I could do the things. But we gather with Nana and Typhoon. Typhoon talking about we shouldn't be nosy about what's going on in Tawan's personal life, but we know they secretly are. We secretly is too. Nana and Typhoon are still conversing when all of a sudden Ya comes up behind them and bangs their head together like some shit off of the Three Stooges or something. Ya asked them, what you sneaking around here for? Typhoon said, damn, that shit hurt, bro. Nana like, that rattled my brain just a little bit. Y'all talk about please stop. Y'all overreacting. Then asks, what y'all doing here? You're looking very suspicious. I hope you know. Nana tells her, well, Isla went to bring breakfast to Tawan, but it's been a couple whiles now, so we was just wondering, be honest with you. Typhoon agrees and says, it's been long enough for us to start worrying. What if they need our help? Ya sees through all of the bullshit and says, if she needed something, don't you think she'll call? In the midst of saying all that, Tawan radios them and tells them no one is allowed up in the room at all. Ya like, okay, sure, boss, copy that. Yeah, okay. Ya turns around and quickly bumps into Typhoon. She asks, what are y'all still standing around me for? Damn, could y'all go back to work, please? They said, girl, chill. It's not that serious. We just a little worried. Now back to Isla and Tawan. Tawan is getting the best care possible. Isla is out here wiping down Tawan, making sure she's good, fresh and clean, on bended knees also. And top of that, making sure she sterilized the wound and shit. This is grade A care. If y'all need like an outline of how y'all supposed to take care of your significant other or anybody else, you do what Isla is doing right now. They in the bed and Isla is falling asleep, but it's in the most uncomfortable position. I don't know if she just likes sleeping in uncomfortable ways, but she's done nothing but sleep in horrible positions that will have strain on your body. Tawan eventually wakes up and is like, Isla, is you good? Isla then asks her, why you up? Tawan just tells her to lay down because this whole uncomfortable positions to make sure I'm good is too much. Sometime later, the doctor arrives to go and check up on Tawan. He tells her, you're looking well today, looking better. Everything seems normal. Do you got any aches or pains or anything of that nature? Tawan simply was like, nah, I don't really have anything to report back to you. The doctor then leaves and all of a sudden cut to Isla feeding Tawan again, but this time in front of the team. They start clapping and I know Tawan is infuriated right now because they clowning her about this whole situation because they never seen her this vulnerable in this lovey-dovey state that she's in currently right now. I see why they clowning though. I'd be clowning too if like one of my best friends. Cut to them making out on a random couch. I don't know if this couch is even in the same room where Tawan stays, but okay. Jump over to Song Claude and he's signing these papers for this funk ass bid that no one cared about but him and Dana. He then goes on to tell Mac how appreciative he feels for how well the bid was handled. Then tells Mac, you know, you did a good job. The board would be pleased. Mac goes on to tell him all this shit, talking about, from now on, I won't let you down again. You can count on me. Mac's so hyped about this whole ordeal and is like, you know what? Why don't we celebrate tonight? Song Claude just silently shakes his head. Mac like, okay, I booked the place now. Mac goes on to do that, but before he leaves, Song Claude says, Mac, I'm sorry for everything. I never trusted or believed in you. Mac like, it's alright, Dad. Song Claude tells Mac, you just gotta keep working and show the board what you can do. Mac says, thanks, I'll give it everything I got. Mac is on the phone in his office when the random comes in. From last episode, Mac says to the guy, yo, what you over here scaring me for like that? Then like, oh, you want to collect your reward. Right, right. You did well this time, finally. Mac goes on to transfer 1 million baht to this man. The man says thank you and is appreciative. Mac, however, says, so you're not going to even check the transfer? The guy says, I really don't have a need to. I'm fine. Mac asks, so you got anything else? You want anything else? Guy like, nah, I'm good. Then leaves. It's nighttime and we back with Isla and Tawan. They both sleep. Tawan eventually wakes up and we thrown into a flashback of her telling the team to keep their eyes on everybody in her family. Tawan follows it up with tell the nod to keep it under the radar, lie low for now, because at a time like this, you know, we can't trust nobody. Y'all asked Tawan a good question. If what you're thinking turns out to be true, what will you really do? Tawan's like, well, it'll be curtains for them. Typhoon says, I don't think things will go that far. I don't think it'll get that bad. Tawan says, well, hopefully it won't get to that point. Tawan finally gets up out the bed and goes to her office to look at all of the things that she's gathered during this time. In the flashback, we notice that she is sent a bunch of documents from TS Constructions. Anyway, back to Isla and Tawan. Isla eventually wakes up and notices that Tawan is not in the bed right next to her, and eventually goes off to find her in the office. She finds her and asks, what you doing up? You couldn't sleep? Tawan says, nah, I'm good. I must have napped too much during the day. She then asks the same question to Isla, what you up for? Isla says, I woke up and you weren't there, so I had to come and find you. Isla notices that Tawan seems a little bit tense. Tawan tells her, I'm good. I ain't got nothing wrong with me. I'm alright. Then she eventually admits she's a little worried. Isla says, worried? What you got to be worried for? Just calm down and rest. Dwan's like, for real, I'm already feeling much better now. Dwan redirects and tries to be funny and to pick Isla up. And Isla says, girl, stop. You know you're gonna tear your stitches, please. Isla tells her, let's go. We gotta go back to bed. Dwan says, okay, okay. They go into the bedroom and get ready to lay in the bed. And Isla tells Tawan to close her eyes and to not think because Isla knows Tawan is actively thinking right now while her eyes are shut. It's the next morning and the team are playing games with Isla. I actually don't know what they play to be honest, but the shit looks fun though. I want to play now. I wish I was working in this workplace environment. I'd be only there for the check, but please hire me. We jump back to the random guy that was hired by Mac, and he looked like he's fleeing from something. Because he actually is. He's fleeing from the police. The police catches up with him immediately, though, and tells him, you gotta come down to the station because we have questions that you need to answer. Because they suspect him of being involved in the abduction of Isla. We back with the team now, and Typhoon gets a call. I don't know who's on the other end of the line, but he doesn't look very pleased with the call that he just got. He hangs up and he goes to Tawan and tells her that they have more leads on the carpet right now. Tawan excuses herself. She needs a moment to discuss something with Typhoon. They head over to the office and Typhoon shows Tawan the suspects and the people of interest involved in the case. Then he informs her that the middleman for this whole operation is the Watt. He goes on to show how the Watt was following orders from Mech at the company, then goes on to show her that they really do know each other further by showing the transfer that Mech sent. He wraps this whole thing up by showing the evidence that the Watt played a part or probably called for the individuals to abduct Isla. With all of this information, it all leads back to one person and one person only, Mech. Tawan is visibly pissed. You can feel her anger through the screen with every piece of information that Typhoon presents. I completely understand Tawan in this moment because to have your family members constantly stabbing you in your back and constantly showing and proving that they do not give a damn about you, and by proxy, who you truly care about and love is a slap to the face. Tawan is pissed, fed up, and is enraged and immediately goes to gear up because she's done with all this shit. He's gone too far. Typhoon is trying to play devil's advocate, saying all of this could be a ploy. Someone could really be setting him up. Tawan's like, oh really? Because the evidence seems crystal clear enough to me. Typhoon stops and asks Tawan, hey, where you going? Typhoon says, please, Tawan, wait for the police to handle this. You know, we have to do things through the right channels, even though this whole series we have not been doing things by the book like we should. But Typhoon is standing up and saying, please don't go, Tawan. Trust me. Typhoon is still not standing down, and he's still trying to get Tawan to realize that she's going off emotion right now and to not make any rash decisions. Tawan doesn't listen to a damn thing that Typhoon says and struggles with him and eventually punches him. Isla sees the whole event unfold after she walks in and says, Tawan, yo, I know who the culprit is. Please. She's obviously confused how she knows and then realizes that, of course, Nana and Ya blabbed about the whole culprit. Isla tells Tawan, don't even be mad at them because I told them to tell me, even though I get where Tawan is coming from because it should have been between her and her team, not the team, her and Isla. Isla comes up to Tawan and asks her, where you going? Tawan flats out tells her I gotta go deal with Mac. Isla asks, why not leave it to the police? Tawan tells her in the most serious of tones, I need to see him suffer because he hurt you, so he has to pay for that. Isla is trying to calm Tawan down and make her realize that she is totally fine. She is safe, but she's with Tawan. Isla is begging her, please leave it to the police. If not for you, please just do it for me. Tawan silently agrees, then tells Typhoon, hit me up when the warrant is issued, and walks off. Isla tells everyone in the room that they can go now, and she got it from here. Everyone does exactly what Isla says and just leaves. The team is tending to Typhoon's busted lip. Nana says, I don't know what's going on, but I've never seen the one this angry and irate. Typhoon says, I'm a dude, and I was shook by this whole interaction. Y'all like, it's a wonderful thing that Isla is here right now today, because if not, Mech will be gone to glory. Typhoon agrees completely and says Isla is the only one that can calm Tawan down. Ya says it's really like them two are made for each other and each other only. Tawan is in the room, and Isla comes in there with a first aid kit and asks, does it hurt? Tawan tearfully responds with, you talking about my heart or my wound? She says, because the wound doesn't really hurt. However, my heart, and she couldn't even express with words how much pain she feels that her family member had done something like this to her. Isla says, all right, well then I'll heal both for you. Isla tries to lift Tawan's spirits and mend her heart by little physical contact just to know that she's there with her. Isla now is getting ready to tend to the wound on Tawan's arm when all of a sudden Tawan pulls out her gun. Tawan says to Isla, you know, when a body heart holds a gun, that means someone has to survive, right? But when a hitman or assassin holds one, it means somebody has to die. So many people has tried to hurt you, Isla. Essentially, in those moments, Tawan rather be a hitman or assassin to have the option to kill those who hurt Isla. Isla says to Tawan not to be cruel because others are cruel. Tawan says flat out, I've been trying to protect you from everyone and to know it was my own family who was trying to hurt you. It's unforgivable because Tawan can withstand anything that Meg decides to throw at her. Bully, do all that shit because she can take it. But when he chose to hurt Isla, the person she truly loves the most, Tawan draws the line there. Tawan is truly fed up with this whole thing. She's like, either he gonna have to die or I will. I don't care no more. Isla tries to talk some sense into Tawan because she knows that this is the most terrible time that Tawan has to face. Isla tells Tawan, you know that death doesn't really solve everything. And wants Tawan to let karma do the work for them. Tawan still ain't with the shits and says, the feud with my family, I just can't see how it will ever end. She says, before my dad hurt your dad, now my brother, if we want to call him her brother, has tried to hurt you. Tawan finishes it off by saying, right now I'm at a loss as to what I can do. Isla again tries to redirect her attention and says, no matter what happens, I'll always be standing right beside you. Isla eventually kisses her and they both cry silently together. And that's how episode 11 of Only You ends. Y'all, this was like, I was so disgusted when they saw it was Mech, even though we all saw like the build up to know Mech was out here calling these shots and hits on people, but I don't understand how we could keep calling these people family members who never treat you like family. Anyway, I really wanted to see if Tawan was going to turn up and show up at Mech's place. I rooted for Tawan to go and deal with Mech. But yeah, thank y'all for clicking the video. Make sure you share the video, subscribe. I'll be back with other videos. I know that I Am Devil season 2 came out. I'm gonna try to get that out sometime. I don't know when I'm gonna get it out, but I'm gonna get it out sometime. Y'all be safe. Later, y'all.